You're on.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. It is our normal Thursday night.
Finally, we can say welcome to
Probably
Thursday.
anything but normal. Yeah. So we're here Thursday night. It's our virtual warehouse sale week. First, what do we always do first? Sound and video. I see myself and I hear myself. So yay. So there's still time to order. Hang on, I gotta put my phone up there. There's still time to order with the sale code. The sale code will go through Saturday. So TPC 25. Remember it to enter it when you're checking out. Now we did find something out today. Well, yesterday. Occasionally people tell me like, I know I put the sale code in there, and then it didn't apply it. Well, we know why, or at least we partially know why. Or we know one reason why, which means we really don't know why, but no, we do. So if you go to checkout and you see your total, you put you do your shipping, you put the sale code in, and then you say, oops, I forgot something, and you go back, and then you come back to checkout, it takes the sale code out. So you do need to, if you go back in and shop after you put the sale code in, you need to re-put the sale code in. We figured, well, that happened to me when I was testing it, and I didn't really think much of it. And then a couple people said that, I know I put the sale code in, and that's why. Because then I asked somebody, well, did you go out and get more stuff and then put it in? And she said, yep, that's what I did. And I said, yep, that's why it didn't work. So just always remember to check that box, make sure the sale code applies, because you may have to re-put it in if you went and got more stuff. So, but we're pretty flexible. We can adjust stuff for you. So just always remember to put the sale code in. If you don't, it's always nice to email me just to give me the heads up, because then I make a note on your order. But we're going to get, comment sold. That's coming up on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time. We're going to do a practice run on Friday at 5:30. We're going to have 2 or 3 items, things that we have more of, but then you can make sure yours is working. If you're brand new to comment sold, I do have some people on Facebook, and they're not on I have some people on YouTube that aren't on Facebook. So you do need to be on Facebook, or now we have the web option. So it won't stream through YouTube. On Saturday, the comment sold will not stream through YouTube, but you can go to the web store, not our web address, not the paper cut, it's the papercut.commentsold.com, and you can log in there, because there will be a web store activated both on Friday night and then again on Saturday, that you can watch it right there. So you can watch it right on your computer, not on Facebook, and you can click add to basket or add to cart. But there is a slight delay. So when there's things that there's only a few of, the Facebook people are probably going to get them first because of the delay. So, and then that's your time. We'll go slow. We'll answer any questions. If somebody wants to know if they're registered, we'll check that out. So if you're not sure if you're registered, if you need a refresher, if you're new to comment sold, we're just going to test so people know what they have to type in. They know what to do if there's different colors. So we're going to answer all kinds of questions and just, try to take care of some of that and make sure our equipment is working on Friday at 5:30. Then we'll end, and then we'll start at 6 o'clock like normal. So that's what's going on with comment sold. I think there's also a YouTube video out there, because once we did a screen share. So, and if you totally want to look at that, you can email me and I'll hook you up to the YouTube video that kind of went through the comment sold stuff too. So anyways, we have a lot to do tonight. Well, we haven't gotten to the flash sale stuff.
Okay. All right.
So,
All right.
so
I don't want you to forget.
No, I'm not going to forget.
Okay.
We have a lot to do tonight, so we're going to get to flash sale stuff. So, speaking of flash sale stuff, my mom was reminding me that if you order $25 or more in flash sale stuff a night, your name goes into a drawing for the cookbook. We showed that it's like a family thing because it's actually my daughter's hot off the ice cookbook for when she was in the skating club. We did it. There's family recipes in there. That's where the pepperoni bread recipe is. So the last night's winner is Eileen Kowalek, Kawalek. So tonight, though, if you order $25 in flash sale items, you will go into the drawing for that. But also you'll get the little make and take kit. Remember that one? I kind of showed that one on a Thursday night. You're going to get the little make and take kit with that too. So $25 in flash sale stuff, you'll go into the drawing, and then you will get the little make and take kit. Also, if you participate in flash sale or comment sold 5 of the 6 nights, you'll go into the Sue's Stash drawing. So
Including Saturday, yeah.
including Saturday. So you participate in 4 flash sales plus comment sold, you'll go into that drawing for Sue's Stash. So anyways, let's get to flash sale. Tonight's theme is window overlay kits, window overlays, window cards. So I've got quite a few. There's 2 pages actually, because I just put them mostly as separate items. So there's a few on page 2 of the website. So when you're on there, you go to the sale page, you click on the big box, then the items come up. Remember to enter the sale code of TPC25. You'll get 25% off of that. So first we have our mini window overlays. Remember when I did that really nice poinsettia card last week? That was with one of the little mini window overlays. So we have the varieties. We have a earth variety, a festive variety, a deep variety, or a pastel. So this item you do open up and you pick one of the varieties. Those are 25 for $5. They're on sale for $3. With your 25% off, they'll be $2.25. So the earth variety is earthy colors. I don't know if you can see that. Festive is our fun sour apple, orange fizz, raspberry, grape jelly. Then we have our deep, which is a deep green, a deep black, a deep blue, a red, and a gumdrop green, and then the pastels. So the mini window, square window overlays, like I did last week for our Thursday night demo. Then we have a couple of our, these aren't windows, but they were just little 5-count kits, because a lot of the kits that we're using are like layered kits. So basically you're adding, it's already got your layers done for you. So you're adding a background stamp, a main image, and a word, and bam, you're done. So these are our scallop A2 double layered kits. Normally these are $5.30, on sale for $3.60. With your 25% off, they will be $2.78. So 5-count kit, those 2 color combinations. Then we have a circle window overlay kit. This is a double one also, so it's normally $5.30, on sale for $3.60, and then with your 25% off, it will be marked down to $2.78. So that's why there's more items, because they're all like smaller dollar amounts. So you can pick a few items and get up to your $25 if you wanted. Then we have square window overlay kits. So these are our square window card with an overlay and an envelope, 5-count kit. They're normally $4.30. They're marked down to $2.90, and they're $2.18 on sale. So we have hot fudge and cream. We have white and spearmint. We have sour apple and white. These are what I was talking about, that you could put a background stamp, on there, run through an embossing folder, put a main image through there, a word, bam, you're done. Grape jelly and white, black and grape jelly. There's a Halloween sample on the front. And then black and sour apple. Again, there's a Halloween sample for that one. Then we have 2 ovals. So same thing, $4.30 marked down to $2.90, and then $2.18 after you enter your sale code. Milkweed and fossil. This one was actually a make and take card or a class card years ago.
Oh,
like
okay.
I want to say like 7 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
On that sample. So this one was a class card too. So hot fudge and jelly bean green. Then we have 2 window cards. These are 3-panel window cards. So this is our window pane, just the cream color. This looks really pretty if you put like a planter box right there with some flowers going up out of it. I was considering that when I did the brick card yesterday, doing like some type of window with a planter. And then we went with the mantle, which I really like. So this card, 3-panel card, $9, marked down to $5, and then with your 25% off, it'll be $3.75 for 25 cards. Then we have the double window trifold, double window square trifold, 25 cards, only in white, $9, marked down to $5, and then $3.75. This is one that you could do your little spinner card in. So that's that card. Then we have some of our square card window overlay kits left still hanging out. So these are our square window card with the overlay, the text insert, and the envelopes. These are normally $7.50, marked down to $3.75, and then they're $2.81 with your discount. So we have white and razzleberry, white and grape jelly, or black and orange fizz. Again, $2.81 after your discount. Then our last thing is our slimline overlay. So this one is 25 wild cherry triple square overlays. This one is, where is that? Wild cherry. There, normally 8, marked down to 6. With your 25% off, it will be $4.50. So, and this one looks really good on a slimline card, obviously. Mitra's using a triple square slimline in her crafter's classroom in sour apple, but the wild cherry is the one that's on special. Not that these are discontinued, we just happen to have a overstock inventory of them, so that's why they're in flash sale. So those are our flash sale items for the night. We are going to get going right to our class because we have a lot to do tonight with stamping, die cutting. Oh, question.
Oh, Mona placed an order today and forgot to change the shipping, but no big deal. So maybe you want to address that.
Change the shipping. Oh, when you're, for your shipping, click on the shipping drop down. If this is the first order, you'll just do the regular shipping that's on there. If this is your second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever order it is,
This week.
Yeah, not forever, this week. This is an add-on to the virtual, because remember, we're holding your orders. Unless we hear from you, we're holding your orders, and then we're going to group them all together. Well, we're getting near the end of that anyways, so, because we don't work, well, I'll be working on Friday and Saturday, but they're not shipping orders on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so we'll start shipping orders on Monday. If you need your order by a certain time, definitely let us know, because it takes us a little bit longer with the sale and the comments sold and combining everything. There's a lot of paperwork to it, but then there's just a lot. So
One more question.
for shipping, I didn't answer that question yet. For shipping, click on the drop down, go all the way down. It'll say add on to virtual order, so you can do that. If you've paid a lot of shipping and you're like, I don't know, I think I've paid a lot of shipping already, go ahead and click pick up at warehouse, and we'll adjust the shipping at the end. You know, we'll make sure it's fair both ways. And if you owe for shipping, we'll let you know. If we owe you for shipping, we'll let you know. If you paid by credit card, we can just adjust it. If you paid by PayPal, then I'll probably call you or email you. So, anyways, alrighty. Especially if you're participating in Comment Sold, because that will automatically charge you $10 shipping. One of these days, pick up at warehouse, because, yeah.
So Mona says, thanks. It was the first time, so she'll remember for another one. She just didn't remember if you were holding it.
Oh, yes, we're holding orders, especially it's Thursday, so now any orders that come in, you know, I'll take them home on Sunday, and like I mentioned yesterday, first I'm going to pull out the pickup orders, because there's not a ton of them, but I pull those out in case the person walks through the door. I want to have their order ready. And then we start with just the orders that are like the onesie orders that don't have comments sold. Those go out first, and then we go up from there, because it takes Becky a little bit to get comments sold pulled. So
Okay, one more question.
Sure.
Okay, are they still selling the cookbooks? Can they buy them?
They are not selling the cookbooks anymore, and I did actually, there's a group of skating moms and I that get together, and we get together 10 years later, 10, 15 years later, and the girls don't even get together, but the moms do. And I just messaged them today to say, does anybody have any leftover cookbooks? Because I want to use them as like a prize for you guys. So unfortunately, they're not available to purchase. Unless one of my moms comes through and says she has a box of them, then I will definitely let you know.
And then, yeah.
But I did find one more today, so we might do something for comments sold too with a cookbook. So, anyways, yeah, it's a nice cookbook. I like my cookbook. It's like, yeah. Anyways, okay, let's go on to class because we've got a lot to do.
Okay.
That's funny though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Important questions. Thanks
Yeah.
for asking.
Yep, important questions. So let's go down to the table. I'm going to get a drink of water.
All right. I don't even have to go get it tonight because you brought it in earlier. All right.
All right. So tonight's class, we are doing the layered florals. So if you ordered this kit, you did receive a stamp set and a die set from Rubbernecker. I'm going to put my cards aside for a little bit. But yeah, these are the cards we're making. So I was like contemplating today, how am I going to teach this class? Like, what is the best way to teach this class? So what I decided, so anyways, in the kit, you received these two things. What I decided was, and along with the paper kits, or the paper kits, and then also an extra packet of white paper. This is what we're gonna do tonight. We are gonna do stamping first. So we're gonna stamp a whole bunch of flowers. We're not gonna die cut them out right away. We're gonna do the stamping of the flowers. Then we are going to do the main assembly of the card. And then we're gonna die cut flowers, because depending on how late it is, I can leave, we can die cut a little and you can die cut and just plunk your flowers on there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the main stamping of the flowers. Then we are going to do the main assembly of like your card layers minus the flowers. And then at the end, like I might die cut, depending on what time it is, I might die cut, some of the flowers and plunk them on there, but you can sit there and die cut, because I think that's going to be the tedious part. So let's pull out our white paper, and you will need an eraser because that helps to season the stamp. I forgot to have a Sharpie. So if you have a Sharpie or some type of pen that you can mark so we can line up the stamps easier, get that out. Then you also need, and I'm getting behind me.
Oh, somebody doesn't have the dies.
Somebody's missing the dies?
Yeah.
Oh, well, write that down.
Yes.
And we will send you the dies. Can you write Kathleen's name down?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Kathleen. We'll do everything else, and that we were going to do last anyways. So, no, if you didn't have the stamps, that would be a problem. Anyways, and then you also need ink pads. Eventually, we'll need a yellow ink pad and a blending brush. And I like to have multiple clear blocks out just to attach my flowers, so I'm not putting them on and off and on and off. So we're going to start out, and we're going to peel the backing off. Now, to line up the flowers, the easiest way to do it, and this I forgot to tell you to have like a black Sharpie, but they are labeled, and there's a little chart inside there that kind of shows layer 1 and layer 2, layer 1, layer 2. So it shows the different ones, but on here they're actually labeled A1, A2, B1, B2. So A1 goes with A2, B1 goes with B2, C1 goes with C2, and so forth. D, D, E, E, G, G. But the best way to like line them up is if you take a Sharpie and on the front side of the stamp, but in the blank area that's not stamping, you put a dot. And you put it, so on A1 I put it right there. On A2 I'm going to put it in that same spot. So then you'll know that these are the top flowers each time. Okay, so then you don't have to like rotate it to find which way it lines up. So I'm going to do that with my Sharpie first on each set. So I did my A's, and then I have my B. So if I do it, and it's kind of small on your little guy here. So if I do my B2 on this bigger area right here, that would be this area on my B1. Because then you know to have that dot, in the same direction. So on my C's, if I do it on my C1 right here, I'm going to do it between those same two flowers on C2. And then D, D1 and D2, if I put it in this blank area right here, then I put it in that blank area on our D. And I do the same thing. And you don't have to use all the flowers if you want. On the samples, I don't think I used all the flowers, but you can. So on the E, I'm going between these two. And then I'm going to do that same thing on the E2. And likewise on G. Actually, yeah. Whoops. Don't drop it, Sarah. So you're just putting a dot. And that's just so when you're lining it up, that dot is going to kind of be at the same spot. So that's how we're going to line those up. Because I actually was like, how do you line these up? When I did it the first time, I didn't do that, and I did. I turned until it looked right, and then I plunked it down. Now the eraser. So on clear stamps, when they're manufactured, you can feel that they're kind of sticky. There's like a residue on there just from the manufacturing. So you're going to take a pink eraser and just do that. I'm doing it on all of them to begin with. This isn't saying that you're not going to not have to do that periodically. Like if the ink, the dye-based ink tends to like bead up on clear stamps. So this is kind of the start of seasoning it, like you do with red rubber stamps, where you stamp it once, you stamp it twice, you stamp it again, and that's called seasoning it. So that's kind of what we're doing with the clear stamps. And we might have to repeat this if if the ink starts beading up. And that's just the nature of clear stamps. So if you've bought clear stamps before and you've had trouble with them, it is just the nature of the clear stamps. Some though aren't as deep etched as others, and that tends to be a problem, but these are etched pretty good. But we might have to do this periodically. If you're not getting a good image, this is where you would start. Now we're not going to need the words till we start with black. And I'm using VersaFine Clair, which works really nice. I'm using all the Rubbernecker Color Fuse inks. And I think Rob is going to be online and he's going to help link. But we're going to go and just stamp sheets of flowers, because then all the stamping is out of the way. So I like to have a bunch of different blocks, because if I'm putting my A on there, I can put my A, ignore my A because I had put the dot on the wrong side at first. So it's just easier when we were on the correct side. But you can this is what I liked doing. I like putting, one on one side and then flipping it over and doing one on the other side. And that's why I have multiple blocks, so I'm not taking them on and off. So if you want to do that, you can. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, I think you have 8 sheets of paper in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8. So I'm just going to take a bunch of different colors, and I'm going to just, on one sheet, I'm going to stamp a bunch of different red ones or a bunch of different blue ones. If you want to look at the sample and decide what you need, you don't necessarily, like you are going to need, let's get the samples out here really quick. So, but really you can do whatever colors you want. This one I do have blue, you know, I have some teal right there, so I did use all teal flowers. So, and I did use various shades of teal. If you want to say, okay, I only need 2 orange big flowers, so that's all I'm going to do, that's fine. If you want to do a whole sheet of orange flowers, that's fine too. So you can look at these and do exactly what you need, or you can just do a sheet with a bunch of different of the same color flowers on them, and then you can use whatever flowers you want. Now, from when I did it, I have a whole bag of extra flowers just because I die cut them out and then I just have extra flowers. And like you could sit and you could die cut out a bunch and just put them in a bag, and then you have them for a future card. Like if you have a window overlay card, you can just put some around a window and bam, you're done. So that's how I'm going to approach the stamping. If you want to look at the samples and just do exactly what you need, you can do that. I am going to just start out and put some different stamps on some different blocks. And this one's too big, so then I don't have to take them on and off. And I did put like one stamp on one side and one stamp on the other. Perfectly up to you what you want to do. I just found this easiest than deciding exactly what I needed in flowers and only stamping that, because some I stamped better than others too. And if you don't want to use the teeny flowers, you don't have to. Let's see, I'm going to put them on blocks because I have blocks available. And then if I feel like doing little flowers, I can. And you notice I'm putting the point up or in the same position each time. And I'm not taking my words off until I need them. So I'm putting my little dot up, and on the other side I'm putting my little dot up too. And then I am going to get out some of the, there's a stem here. So the stem we won't use till later. So the stem we're going to end up using here. They changed their stamp set just slightly, so the stem is a little bit shorter, and I think it's still fine. And then leaves. So leaves do go together. So you have the leaf, and then you have like a shadow that goes on the leaf. So that's what the 2 little things are for. So we have a leaf and then a leaf shadow, and maybe I put these on the same side. And then I have my other leaf that goes the other way and my other little shadowy thing that goes the other way. I'm going to wait on my stem because we're just going to use the stems on one of the cards, so I'm just going to leave that one on there. And I missed one. And there is a smaller leaf too. And you can do both size leaves if you want, totally up to you. I'm going to see if I have one more block in my room, which is kind of funny because I have a whole bunch of them. So, and I put my dots at the same position each time. Okay, so now I'm just going to start, and since I have the most blue flowers that I need, I'm going to start with my blues. And you can see, like, let me get the blue card out. I have different shades. So these were all done with these 4 ink pads. If you only have 2, you can start out and you stamp once, and then you can stamp again and again, and the more you layer the ink up, the darker it will get, okay? Or you could you know, so I did all different shades. So I usually did like one shade like for the background and then the next shade for the top. Or I start out with this shade and then do this one on the top. Or you could skip one too. Oh, my ear's ringing. This is really weird. I don't know why. It's just weird. Anyways, let's just... But yeah, my ears are ringing.
You never had ringing ears before?
No, I never have.
Oh, well, I know what it's like.
So,
You want my hearing aid?
no, I don't need your hearing aid. So anyways, I'm going to ink up and stamp. Sometimes it's easier to start with a lighter color just because then you can see. So I'm going to just push straight down, stamp it, and that was my bigger one, and now I'm going to ink my littler one. And I think I went 2 shades darker on this one.
Does Rubbernecker have a sale code? Yes.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yep.
Rubbernecker does have a sale code. It is TPC25, just like ours, easy to remember, and it's 20% off site-wide. So TPC25, and it's 20% off. So in the middle, there is a little teeny tiny, see these little doojobbies right here and right here? Those can be stamped in yellow in the middle, or you can put gems in the middle. So that's up to you. I'm just going to pull my yellow ink pad out right away and another little block. If I have a little, oops, let's see. Hang on, I do have another little block. So I'm going to put my little yellow doojobbies on. And there's even a smaller one too. There's a really teeny one. So like this big one probably doesn't go in there, but the medium sized one goes in there. And I'm going to pull out my yellow ink pads. I have them all lined up next to me. And I think I want a brighter yellow. I do really like this teal set. It's really pretty.
So that code for Rubbernecker is good this week, Sarah?
Yeah, through Saturday, just
Through
like
Saturday.
ours. So exact same code. So while you have the stamps out, go ahead and stamp a couple blues. That's what I mean. This class is going to be a little bit longer because it is stamping. And stamping takes a little bit of time. Now leave a little bit of space between them because you're going to be die cutting them. Now, I may occasionally have my head in the camera because I did find it a little bit hard to see through that little hole down into there. So there's a few times when I was doing this that I think I did I'm just going to try it. I did the dark one first and then the light one on top of it. Maybe. There was one instance when I was doing this that I think it was on the little ones. Yeah, actually it was easier seeing through the light stamp than the dark one. Yeah, that I lined up better. But you know what? If it's not perfectly lined up, it doesn't really matter. It's okay. And you can do a few different stamps. Do a few different colors and sizes. So this one I did the smaller one first in the dark, and it was beating up a little bit. So if that's happening, you can take your eraser out and do your eraser on it again. And I gave this sheet of paper is plenty big for all of the blue that you need. If you're really frugal with your paper, you could probably do 2 colors, half on one side, half on the other, and it's fine. I just wanted to make sure to give you plenty. So you have plenty for colors and for stems and for whatever else you need. Yeah, I do like stamping the little one first in dark because then you can see through the lighter one. But this one I am going to stamp again because I missed a little right there. And again, if it's starting to bead up on there, just go ahead and give it another go with the eraser. And I'm going to do some of my big ones, and I may do, you know, just a really light color ink. So these are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're not sure, I mean, you can usually tell just from looking at the color because it goes light to dark. But in case, so I started with my middle dark one first, and then it's easy to see through the light one to line up your leaves also, besides using your dot that you have on there. And this one I can see was starting to bubble up a little. So I'm going to take my eraser on it. And then give it another whirl. So I hope you guys are busy stamping. We're going to be stamping for a little bit. I'm stamping the most blue because we have a lot of blue flowers on the cards. And this big one was still a little off, so that's why I'm using the eraser on it. But I'm going to do the big one again. I should, oh, this is what I should do. I should put numbers next to me if you're using the Rubbernecker ink pads, or because there, now I can keep my 4 there and my 2 there and my 1 and my 3, and then when I take the lid off I can set it right next to it, and then I don't get confused on which lid goes with which pad. So yeah, we're going to be stamping for just a little bit. That's why I said this class was going to take a little. Okay. So yeah, and if you want it a little bit darker, then you can just do it again. Even if it's the same shade, like if you only have 2 shades, you'll just stamp it twice or 3 times to get it darker. And because you can see through it, there we go. Would a Misty work better? A Misty might work better, but I preferred setting up all of my stuff so I'm not taking on and off. So if you're using a Misty, I would leave your 2, your 2 coordinating ones, like your A1 and A2 on your Misty, and I would do all the colors. Where for me, I want to do all the flowers with 1 color and then move on. But it's totally up to you. If you prefer to use the Misty, that's what I would do. I would start with my lightest color. I would do some yellow flowers, then I would do some orange flowers, then I would do pink, red, maybe clean them off in between. But then you can keep the same flowers on the Misty, and then you're going to switch your flowers on your Misty and then do all the colors all over again. Where I just prefer to do all my 1 color first. So I think that's just a personal preference. I haven't grown up. I am grown up, but I haven't grown up using the Misty a whole ton. I do like it for my outline stamping, because then I can stamp a nice crisp one after. So, but I don't use it for everything. I am a clear block girl, so I think, yeah, it just has to do what you're comfortable with. So yes, a Misty would work, and that would be fine. So.
That don't ever grow up. Just be a kid forever, Sarah.
Yeah. Anyways, which one did I not use yet? I lost track of what I did. I don't think I used this one yet. So yes, I wouldn't say that there's a right and a wrong way. I would say there are just different ways. And see, this one is beating up, so I'm going to stamp it off. And I'm going to get my eraser out again. Oops, and I didn't look at my dot. My dot is on that side. So now when I do my darker color over it, I have to do my dot over there again. So yeah, we'll be stamping for a bit. I probably am going to stop my blue flowers in just a minute, and I'm going to go on to another color. Oops, I had that. There we go. Yeah, I think I probably have at least close. I'm going to do one more blue flower. So I'm going to leave that one, and I don't know which one I'm missing, but I think I'm going to do, I need a medium-sized blue. I'm going to try this one. Now I have my dot up at the top. So yeah, just what you prefer. And now if I want to fill that one in or get her a little bit darker, I can stamp it again.
Well,
what?
My hearing aid's talking to me.
Oh, now your
battery.
ears are ringing?
No, it's telling me it needs a new battery.
Oh.
Needs to be plugged in. Oh well.
Okay.
Now I'll be like in a fog.
So I've got my blue. I'm going to go on to, well, my green is for my leaves, so I'm going to set that there. My blues I'm going to put away. And I think I'm going to get out purple, and then I'll clean them after the purple, because I went from blue. I should have started with yellow, but I didn't. So now I'll get my purples out. And for purples, look at, if I'm going to look at how many I need, I have different shades of purple. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 purples.
Are these colors the ones in the sets at Rubbernecker?
Yes, yep.
Rub is on, you know.
Oh, I just saw them, yes.
Okay.
So now we're going to do the same thing, but just with another shade. And maybe you stamp 2 of each flower, and then you only stamp 3. Then I can do that, and then I can go to my lighter one that I want to use. And again, I forgot to look at where my dot was, but these are pretty easy to line up when you have the darker one down first, and then you do the lighter one over the top of it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start doing 2 of each one that I'm holding in my hand. So like 2 larger ones, 2 medium ones. And I have to remind myself to put my dot at my top. So I think that will be a little bit quicker if I just stamp 2 of each one. And the reason I put 1 stamp on one side of my block and 1 stamp on the other side was because then I don't get it, like if I had both stamps on the same side, I may, which I did that with my leaves, I did them on the same side, so I might need to rethink that. Now, because now I remember, I had originally when I did this, I had them on the same side, and then I was mucking up my flowers that were kind of right next to it. So, top, top, and then I go to my next one. So there are a lot of flowers and a lot of stamping, and that's okay. Except if you see a drip of water, it's actually a drip of sweat. Because it's hot here today.
The TPC 25, Rob, if you haven't seen this post, says that it expired
Oh, did somebody say that?
in 2022. Thanks, Robin.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get that switched right away.
Yeah.
That happens. I have done that before, where I've messed up my sale code. Actually, this year, the very first person that used the sale code came and said, it says it's expired, and I'm like, oops, yep, didn't change the date. So that happened to me too. The very first sale on Monday morning
Said expired.
said expired, yeah. So it happens. You're at 70 degrees. We're actually warm here in Wisconsin. I mean, it's relatively speaking warm. It's not really warm.
Well, 80's nice
80
for the end of
80's nice,
September.
yes. But I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah. Kathleen Moore says they're at 70 in Washington.
Mhm.
Yay. That's nice too.
Yeah, 70 sounds beautiful. Now this one I might have put my flowers too close together for die cutting. So I might just be a rebel and not line my flowers up the way they're supposed to. Yeah, that's okay. And then I am going to take my little yellow center of my flowers. You know, and you can always come back and do more flowers and when you're assembling everything and you're like, I want more flowers or I don't want as many flowers. It's totally up to you what you want to do. So yes, this second set went quicker because I stamped 2 of the same one twice. So I'm done with my purples for now. And I'm going to do a sheet of pinks. There's some really nice colors in these. I tend to use these pinks for brush blending versus some of my other ink pads. Just because I like the pinks. Even though they're small, they're a little bit harder to brush blend just because they're smaller, but I do like the shades of these.
95 in Arizona. Oh my gosh, Robin. At 5 o'clock.
Oh, is Robin Bennett watching?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. She said her basket is ready when it is updated.
Good. Did Rob see that?
He didn't answer me, so.
Oh, maybe go on his post. You know,
Okay.
reply to his post.
Yep.
And
Well,
this
he
is,
never posted the code. I posted the
No,
code.
but I mean, he posted something.
Oh,
He
yes.
posted a link to something.
Okay.
So go reply to his.
All right.
This is set. It's PK. So it's set number 5. It's rose, blush, bubblegum, and fuchsia. Set number 5. But you can tell that I use this one a lot. Some other pinks that I brush blend with just are not great. I just really like these for my brush blending. I probably need to re-ink it a little bit more because yes, this one gets used a ton. I keep forgetting to look at where my dot is. Darn it.
Okay, I did that.
Okay.
Just in case he didn't
Just
hear
in-
us talking, yes.
Yeah, in case he didn't hear
'Cause-
us or he didn't see us.
Yes, because he's also watching football game, right?
He is. But he said he'd be on to help with links.
Yes. Thank
So-
you, Rob.
Did he?
No, he didn't say anything yet.
So yes, I keep forgetting to look at where my pink dot is.
Oh, and then I posted it on the wrong. Okay, I'll go over here and post it.
What did you do?
I just posted it to the wrong place.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I like to look at my stamps like straight on, but I don't want to put my head so you're seeing the top of my head. And I don't know what I'm looking
not
like.
seeing. I'm
you
not
don't.
seeing
You don't
it.
ever see the top of
No,
my head in the
I never
camera?
see it. No.
Okay. Hang on, I'm looking for my pink re-inkers. Because I think I need to re-ink my fuchsia.
Well, Bernice Rogers said she thought it was a little cool in South Carolina at 85.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Which pinks?
The pink number 5. It's the number 5 set.
All right.
Okay, so now I have my dot on the right. Dot on the right. I don't know how many pinks we need, but I'm just going to do like 6 of them. Just sounds good to me. And then if we need to come back and do more, we can do more. So I'm going to do my dot at my top. And my dot at my top. So So yeah, this one's going to be a lot of stamping until we get to our card making.
Okay, Rob posted the number 5 link. Yay.
Did he say that he fixed the...
I didn't see that yet.
No. So, this one I did wrong. Oops. Oops. This one I did my dark color over the top of my light color.
Oops.
Oh well, I have a solid pink flower. That's okay. So I think I'm going to do one more set of pinks. And let's see, which one is it going to be? This big one. Code is all set. Sorry about that.
Oh. Okay, great.
So he did see that.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, now my dot is at the right. I'm just kind of a go for it, and I'm just kind of stamping and not paying attention. So if you guys are doing it, pay more attention to where your dot is, because the dot is supposed to be helpful, but it's not helping me because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. I like that. Okay, and now so I've got all shades of pink on there going on, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna come back with my yellow, and I'm gonna do my centers to my flowers. And again, if you want to, like one kit includes gems. If you want to put all gems in the center of all your flowers, that's fine. Or you can dot them. I think I put crystal lacquer in the center of one of the one card. I put crystal lacquer in the center of the flowers. So there, we've got our pink flowers. By the way, game doesn't start for 15 more minutes.
Oh, sorry, I outed you.
Well, who knows which game either.
Yeah.
So I might wash my, I'm going to go ahead and do some orange right now. So I'm going to maybe wash my stamps in between my orange and my pink. And then or maybe I can do a red first. Hang on. Where's my little red set? Oh, there it is. It was buried underneath all my flowers. Okay, I'm going to do a couple reds first. So I've got my different shades here, my number 1, my number 2, my number 3, and my number 4. Yeah, I'll do a few red flowers. Not too many red flowers. And then I'll move on and do a couple yellows. These are kind of an orangey red. I mean, there's all different shades of red, but these are kind of an orangey shade of red. So this set, the set number 4, Posy, Scarlet, Nectar, and Crimson, matches our cherry in the Lesabo. Oops, I'm on the wrong side. So it matches that paper really well.
Marion Phillips wants to know who's playing.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know who's playing either. Sometimes I would pay attention to that, but since I knew I wasn't going to be home for a while tonight, I have other things in my brain. So my brain didn't have room to keep track of who was playing tonight. Unless it was the Packers, then I would know that they were playing. And then I might be like, let's make the cards and then see ya like fast. It would be speed stamping. No, I wouldn't do that to you all. So yeah, there's all different shades of red. That's why you need, so who's playing the Giants in San Francisco? So I'm going to just stamp my 2 red ones, and then I think I'm going to do a couple oranges. Oh darn it, I keep forgetting to watch my dot. And again, if you don't have 4 different shades of colors, you can always just stamp twice. Like on this one, I could just stamp twice if I wanted a little bit darker shade. So that's how you can get all different shades too, just by layering your stamping on top of each other. And in that case, the Misty comes in super handy. With the little flower and the big flower, if it's not perfect, you know, who really cares? Because it's like close enough. But when you're stamping and you want it to totally match on top of each other, then the Misty would be like super helpful. Okay, so I've got a few reds. I'm going to do some oranges. And I think I have a different shade of blue that I can do a couple of those too. Maybe I'll go to the blue right now, just because I've got red on there, and or I could actually clean my stamps. But if you don't clean your stamps, you could get a totally new shade too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a few blues, because this is kind of a purpley blue. So we'll move on from the stamping in just a little bit. Even if you're not done, you'll have some to get started with. And like I said, we're going to go on to the assembly of the cards, and we'll get those all assembled. So then all you need to do is put some flowers on there. And I might take a quick bathroom break too. Didn't plan that very good, did I? This blue is really light, so I might do that one a couple times. My mom could come over here and stamp some flowers.
Oh. I'm just trying to keep up with Rob. He's posting to one page, I'm posting to another.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's ahead of me.
Yeah, that's what he said. I can do it pretty quick. I'll pop on. Okay.
That's nice.
All right. Oh, I forgot my yellow, so let me get my yellow. And there's a yellow and an orange set. So I'm using the yellow set for the little do jobbies. The centers to the flowers. But I do want to do some orange flowers too. So I'm going to go on next and do orange. Okay, so here's the orange set. Now this pumpkin color, I'm probably not going to use that. It's a little pumpkin-y, but I'm going to stay like the apricot and the mango. One, two, I'm going to use three because if I remember, the pumpkin was pretty pumpkin-y. Does all 48 sets come with the 4? So Rob's going to have to answer that. Does the all 48 set come with the 4-pack plastic containers that Sarah has? So that I'm not sure. But I think so yeah, Rob, I don't know if you're listening or just watching, but I think she's wondering if the
he's on
all
it.
pack comes with this to keep your 4 colors in. I think it does, but I'm not totally 100% sure.
Now it says that I used this code before and can't use it again.
Oh, so Rob said, Bernice, well, she can read that.
Yeah.
Yes, it does come with that. So yes, that's very nice because I do like to keep my little cubes all together and in the same little pack. Earlier when I was doing some re-inking, I had my yellow and my orange set mixed up. I'm like, what is going on here? And the numbers are actually on the side too. So then I was like, huh, okay. Well, and it says the name of them on the back. You know, it's kind of like trying to do stuff without reading the directions,
Oh, yeah.
where it might have been helpful just to read the directions.
Yes, they all come in the 4-pack, so you would get 12 times 4
With the 48,
packs.
yeah.
So, Rob, did you see that the code's still not working?
Well, did you use it twice? Maybe each person can only use it once.
Oh, maybe.
Or somebody said that.
Yeah.
Oh. That I don't know.
I did. I'm trying to fix it now. Thanks.
Okay. Because when I do sale codes on my website, I have to click whether it's one per person, one-time use, or multiple use.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different little check boxes to remember to check. Or uncheck. Yeah, keeping up with websites that's almost a
Well,
full-time job
Sarah,
in
when I
itself.
finish the dies, then I'll start working on your website.
No, we want to finish it though before next year.
Okay, Sarah. I have to go to the bathroom.
Because you're laughing too much.
Yes.
I'm just giving
I'll
you.
be back.
I'm just giving you crap, Mom.
Squish, squish, squish.
And if you want to put like a pink inside the center,
Leave the room for what you're going to say.
I'm not going to say
Maybe I shouldn't
anything.
Go too far.
I'm talking about my flowers. If you want to put pink inside your center of your flowers, now we can talk about her. No, I'm just kidding. But I might put some pink in there. Oops. Yeah, have you ever like not paid attention to what you were doing and inked the flat side of the block? Yep, I've been there, done that. And I think I might do, since I have room on there, I might do a couple yellow flowers too. So I'm going to keep my oranges out. Okay, yellow, orange. Because I may combine and do like a center that's this lightest orange and then the main flower yellow. And oh, I have to do some leaves too. So okay, just a couple yellow flowers. Let's find one that I haven't really used very much. And we'll do my lightest orange as the middle. And then we'll go to the yellow. And then we're going to put a pink inside of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some leaves. And then I think I'm going to be done with my stamping. For now, if I have enough. Now, I have plenty of flowers, so if I do need to fill in like one or two, it won't be a big deal because I have a lot that are pre-done. Oh, we have to stop talking about her.
You know you can't. I can't hear you anyway because I have one hearing aid that's not working. And even when I have my hearing aids on, I can hardly hear anyway. Oh my gosh.
I didn't say anything.
And everybody's going to swear to it, right?
I promise. I didn't tell any stories. Okay, so we've got some yellow and orange.
Yeah, Rob said, yeah, I missed that box. It should be okay now. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so I am going to, remember how I put 2 leaves on one side and 1 leaf on the other? I'm going to switch it. Just because, yeah, when you start turning it over, you could muck up other stuff. So now I'm going to go on to my greens and just do a whole bunch of leaves. So we used leaves on here. These leaves we stamped, so you're going to keep those out. And I used, there's a few leaves on there and just a couple leaves on there. So not a ton. You do need like a spare piece of white for right here. You have plenty of white. So yeah, just go ahead and do a bunch of flowers. The little one is your darker. So I'm just going to stamp a whole bunch of those.
Oh, no, the other one's done. No, I'm totally out of it.
And then I go to my little bit lighter one for the big leaf. And I just kind of line it up on one side. Okay, now I'm going to take my other leaves. I'm going to take my 2 little dots off so I have a clear block and put them one on each side. Kind of going to do the exact same thing. I don't know how many leaves I need, but I'm going to have plenty. And yeah, I'm lining just the top edge of my leaf up with the, so kind of the top edge and the edge, or the end of the leaf. So it's just kind of a shadow inside the leaf. And if you only have one shade of green, you can just Stamp it a couple times for your middle one. Okay. So I am going to leave a couple of my greens out.
It is okay now, Rob. All ordered.
Okay. Now we are going to, so depending on where you're at, actually I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. So finish up your stamping, put your stamps away, and leave out your leaves and you're going to get your stem out. So leave out your leaves and your stem. You need a black ink pad out. And now you're going to need adhesive, tape, or adhesive, paper trimmer, and I will be right back. Okay.
So how did the dance lesson go? Seemed to go very nicely. At least they haven't banned me from the studio.
That's good. They're not going to ban you from the studio.
Hmm?
They're not going to ban you from the
No,
studio.
they won't.
Okay, now we are going to just assemble our cards, and then we'll come back and we'll die cut flowers depending on what time it is, but we have a whole bunch of flowers. So let's move on to our cards. I'm going to start with the one that has brush blending on it, so we can just get that out of the way. So we're going to start with that thanks. I didn't put any of my stamps away.
There's something relaxing about seeing you stamp, Sarah.
Oh, good. That's what it's all about. Okay, so we are going to start this one. I can't remember why I have 2 layers of white in here. Oh, I know why. Because it's a white on white. It's a tone on tone. If you don't want to do a tone on tone. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I know why I put white in there. Forget it. I just needed to think about it for a minute. So, depending on this card it's a white card base, and then it has this golden color, which is this color right here. And then we're brush blending. And if you don't have an ink pad, you know, that looks good with this color right here, I gave you another color because you can brush blend all the way around this to make your layer that goes behind it. So then you have something coordinating. So that's what this extra piece of paper is for. If you don't need it, if you have a yellow that, you know, kind of coordinates, then you can just use this for something else. So that's what I put it in there for, just because I didn't know if everybody would have a color that semi-matched that. Okay, so that's what that's for. It just takes me a minute to remember that. But I'm using, for brush blending, I am using this big yellow ink pad and a blending brush. And I'm going to start all the way on one side and move all the way across it. But I'm going to have it darker here, so I'm going to make it lighter as it goes down to the other side. So it's a little bit gradiated. So yes, if you don't have, you know, something that matches, you can just take your other big piece and brush blend so it's darker on the edges, and that will kind of be the layer that you see. That's what that extra piece of paper was for. Sometimes I do stuff a while ago and then I can't remember why I did it. But it just took me a minute for my brain to catch up. Okay, but I'm gradiating my color, then we're done. So, alright. Putting my blending brush away. Putting my ink back away. Alright, so now for assembly for this, we are just going to attach our white layer onto our sunset layer and then onto the front of the card. Make sure you're working on a clean surface. Oh, we didn't fill up my tape gun. That's okay, because I have my 1/8 inch tape gun.
I have one that's full if you're looking for the quarter.
I'll maybe remember to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
So my white layer, and we're going to end up stamping a bunch on here. So I guess we could have stamped that before, but, or you have another white piece of paper just in case. And that layers on the front of your card. Yes, usually I do all of my stamping before doing my taping because there's always the back side of the paper. But it's one simple stamp, so I'm pretty sure that we can do it. Okay, layer that onto the front of your card. Now, this layer, this is popped up. However, I'm just going to set it there for now before I stamp my a bunch, because if I stamp my a bunch, and I get ink on my, so say I get ink on my block and I go to stamp my a bunch, I don't want to get black ink on my piece because it's popped up. So now we're going to go back to our stamp set and pick out whatever word you want. So they did this set specifically for us to go with some of the die cut words. So these are words that could go with thanks, you have a bunch. But in case you don't have the die cut words, you also have the thanks on here too. So this could be a standalone set. It doesn't necessarily need the die cut words, but the die cut words are very nice. So I like the shadow behind the words. I've wanted to do a class that used all of the shadows behind the words, and this year I finally did it. So you can say thanks to you, thanks so much, or I'm going to use thanks a bunch. And we are also going to test it on our scratch paper just to make sure it's stamping good. So we're going to test it here. Yep, it's working good. So then we're going to go and we're going to have that kind of set where we want it, and we're going to just stamp that. Perfect. We're going to make sure we don't smooge it. We're going to leave that out because we're going to be stamping some other words. But now we can put foam tape on the back. Let's see, I have more foam tape right here. So tomorrow, well, tonight/tomorrow, I'm going to be setting up all of our items in Comment Sold. And I can tell you there's things in there that have never been in Comment Sold. So there's some repeat things because there's some things that I never run out of, so there are some repeat things. But there's also things that haven't been in Comment Sold at all yet. So that's kind of exciting. That's kind of fun. If you're watching on YouTube, right now, if you go to the Comment Sold link that I sent out an email, like right before we did this, I sent out an email reminding about Comment Sold. But if you're watching on YouTube, you will be able to just go to the web address, thepapercut.commentsold.com. Now, right now, if you go there, it will only let you register, I believe, using Facebook. But once I activate the web store, which I'll do right before Friday, and then I'll do it right before Saturday, then you will be able to register with just your email address and shop right from there.
On YouTube, right?
Not on YouTube.
Oh, no, but...
If you're on YouTube right now,
Okay.
because you don't have Facebook.
Okay.
If you don't have Facebook, so some of my YouTube watchers don't have Facebook, they can watch online on this web store.
Okay.
But not on YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
You can't watch on YouTube.
Okay.
So now, the rest of the pieces in here are the thanks shadow and the thanks word. Now this one does have the gems, so I'm going to set those aside and I'm not going to lose them in case I don't get all of those flowers die cut tonight. So I'm going to stick them back in my kit. I'm going to pop out weed out my words, and I have my pokey tool. Now I'm probably going to pull out my micro dot adhesive for my words because I do like that. And I'm just going to pop my words onto my shadow. And then I can put adhesive on the back of that, and I can get that set up. And then that card is ready for flowers. But like I said, we're going to not do the flowers right away. We're going to get this assembly done in case anybody's, hitting a wall and for the night, which could happen to me. So with the shadow, I am using the glue press just because it's a lot of micro dot adhesive that it's going to use. But with the thin word of thanks, I did use my micro dot adhesive. And now you can put that on straight, you can put it on, kind of offset. You do whatever you want to do. And I like to push it down with a piece of Post-it note, or you can use the back of your micro dot adhesive. I don't usually push it down with my fingers too much, But now this card is ready to be flowered, but we're going to set it back in our little sleeve. And we're just going to get the main assembly done for our cards. All right, so let's go on to this purple one. And in this one you should have, all right, so we should have our card, our purple layer, which that we can attach right away because it has nothing, it does have the birthday on it, so maybe we'll wait for a little bit. We'll follow the rules like we're supposed to. Maybe we can do the happy first, because this one does have a little bit of stamping because we're going to get the leaves out and stamp them. But let's since we just had our micro dot adhesive out, let's do that. Get the gluing out of the way. This is the one that I put crystal lacquer in the middle of the flowers just to give them, you know, or glossy accents, or diamond glaze, or whatever you have. Just gave them a little dimension and a little shine in the middle of the flowers. But if you want to put on some gems, you just knock your socks off. Okay. So again, this is happy. You could use your word stamps, and you've got happy birthday, you've got happy birthday to you, you have happy wishes. So yeah, if you don't have the happy die, which Rob will probably post the link, I think you probably just did, the stamp set will stand alone on itself, but I just love the shadow stamps. Or the shadow dies, I mean. And we still do have this class kit if anybody's out there is watching and they didn't get it. It was part of the all-in bundle, or you could order it separate. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now you should have 3 black rectangles and 3 white rectangles. The white rectangles are for stamping. We're going to wait to attach them until after we attach, or until after we do our stamping. In case we screw it up, we do have a back side. Also, you have plenty of white paper. So we do have our leaves. I just have to find them. My leaves, my green ink pads, and then on the stamp set there was a stem. So now I do have, like, the stem is a little bit longer on mine, but you can kind of connect the end of it. So I'm just going to try that. And if you wanted to put die cut leaves on there, you surely could do that. I just stamped it when it was on the black so you could see it, but now I'm going to connect my stem, so I'm going to turn it around and kind of connect, see if I can connect my stem. And depending on where it's connected, like I should have connected it up a little bit higher, because you could always hide that connection with a leaf. But you can't even tell that I connected it. So there. The next one, so this is that one right there. The next one is a little bit higher, and the part of the happy is going to cover it up. So you can stamp it to connect it, or you can not. It's up to you. I'll just connect it because it's not going to hurt because my flowers are going to cover it up anyways. And then we'll do the same thing on the last one, and then our H is going to cover that one up, but I'm just going to do the whole stem. And you can kind of turn the stem going a different direction if you want, so it looks like it's a different stem. Oh, perfect. I won't say perfect, but that was pretty darn. I like it.
Oh man, you are talented, Sarah. I always knew it, but
just connecting a line. I probably could have drawn that with a green marker if I needed to, but. So, anyways, now your leaves. So you have your leaves going up, or you have your leaf, you know, going in the other direction. So you can use whichever ones you want. Now, if you want to start with your little one in your darker color, and then maybe we'll do that same one on here, and then maybe we'll go to the other one and go up. There's actually no right or wrong with this. But see why I didn't put my leaves on the same side? Because I didn't want to hit something else. And we can angle, yeah. So flowers are what flowers are, and they are so random that it doesn't really matter what you do, right?
Right. That is exactly right. One of the lessons of master gardening. Plants are going to do what plants are going to do.
Okay, I think those are those the only two I used from that one? I don't know. Okay. Oh, I did miss one. This one. There we go. Thought I was losing my mind. Okay, so we've got our stem. So now we can put, I think we are totally done with our green ink pads and our leaves. So we can take the time and put our leaves back on our sheet. Which I still have to put all of my flowers back on my thing. I'm off to the side putting my leaves away. So go ahead and put your leaves away. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to put a couple flowers away, which you guys probably did that already while you were waiting for me. But I'm just going to do a couple of them, and then we will move on.
Sarah, I'm surprised we were as ready for this as we were tonight, considering we had doggies here today.
Yeah, we had doggies here all day. And they had new toys, so it was toy testing day. And actually, they only damaged one toy today. But where I got them from said that they would exchange them, like they're guaranteed for life. And I'm like, ha, really? Seriously? And out of the 3, they did almost destroy one. Not totally, but I'm going to wait till I have a few before I actually send them back. So yeah, actually now I am just putting all of these away, so I hope you're just waiting patiently. Because once I started, I was like, I'm just going to put them all away. And I've just got one more clear block to put away.
Sarah, who cleaned all the stamps last year? Didn't anybody clean them? Are they still in the sink?
What stamps?
Any stamps that you sometimes don't clean for. Ever.
It depends. If they're rubber stamps, they're probably in the sink.
Okay.
If they're clear stamps, they probably ended up back on their thing.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, if they're rubber, like I have a sink in my stamp room that's full of rubber stamps that need to be cleaned. And I'll tell you, Josh, the one that comes and gets my cards, when he was younger, he would stand at the sink and he loved cleaning rubber stamps.
Oh, well, hey. He won't come and dance with me, but I bet I could get him to do some rubber stamps.
I don't know that we could get him to do rubber stamps now. This was when he was needed to stand on a chair to get the sink.
Slave labor.
Yeah. Anyways, now we're attaching our white pieces to our 3 black pieces. So yeah, when he was little, he used to love to clean rubber stamps. Because you'd get out the scrubby thing and he would just go to town cleaning rubber stamps. Maybe it was just playing in the water that he liked.
That could be. Did you have to put a rubber suit on him so he didn't?
No.
No.
No, you just knock your socks off and get wet. Whatever you want to do. If you want to clean stamps. Okay, so now we have our 3, and I'm going to take this off the card just so it's laying nice and flat. So we have our 3 our 3 tall rectangles, and we're just going to kind of set them where they're going to be, and then we're going to stamp the birthday, because unlike the last one that I did, if I would have screwed it up, I would have kind of been in trouble. So this one, we can stamp it, and if we screw it up, we can actually flip it over. But just be careful once you stamp it not to smooch it. And again, we're going to take our birthday and we're going to test it on our scrap paper. Yep. And then we can stamp it. I stamped it kind of below the 3rd rectangle. There. Now, because if we would have screwed that up, we could just turn it right over. So that's why I usually will do my stamping before I assemble. The last card, I don't know what, I must have had a brain fart or something, and I attached it first. So now we can turn these buggers over and attach them, and then we can attach the layer to the card, and then we'll use foam tape to attach the happy. And then we're going to set it aside because we're going to wait to do our flowers. Sometimes, well actually what I'm going to do for doing this, I'm going to put both of my side ones on so they're, well, you could, okay, to line these up straight, you could just take a straight edge, you know, and go at the top or the bottom, because then you are lining it up straight. If you want to, and you could use just a piece of paper, but then you can kind of go the same, approximately the same distance from both sides, and then you'll just put the one in the middle. But the ruler was there to keep your kind of your straight edge. Shoo, shoo. And if it's a little bit off, that's okay, because this happy is going to sit on there and cover up your bottom. But before we put the happy on, because that's going on with foam tape, let's attach this layer to the front of the card. So I'm just going to turn that over, put adhesive on it. And we're going to attach that to the front of the card, and then we're going to put the foam tape on the back of our happy and just attach that. Do you remember when stamping classes used to be all stamping?
Yes.
Before dies?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was all stamping. Like, I can tell you that the prep for those classes was so much easier than the prep for these classes.
Yeah. Yes.
Because basically it was just layers of paper.
Yep, I remember.
Mm-hmm. How many of you have been stamping that long that you remember all stamping classes? Alright, so we're almost done with this one. We're done minus our flowers. Because like I said, those are going to be putsy, and I'm going to probably depart from you and let you die cut and just plop your flowers on there. When I planned this class, I was like, 4 cards, no problem. Forgetting that we're actually doing the stamping and the die cutting.
Yeah.
So now we're going to put this one back. And then we will go on to the U. So we're going to go on to this one. Okay, now this one, okay. Through the, you're going to pop your little triangles out, or triangles, your little diamonds out of there. And the blue diamond print glitter paper attaches behind it and is seen through the little diamonds. But we're going to stamp the words "are simply the best." Now this sample is a Rubbernecker sample, so this was before they redid the stamp set for me, so the words are a little bit bigger on there. So on the stamp set the words are a little bit smaller. But when you stamp them, you don't want to, stamp them. Actually, I think you have to use a separate piece of paper. So hang on a second, because we're going to place the U on here. This is one of their mini slimline cover plates, so it goes edge to edge. But we're going to take the U and let's get that attached. We're going to lay it down and we're going to decide where we're going to stamp the "are simply the best." And I picked that because my mom uses that saying all the time.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that's why I picked that saying.
Thank you. I wondered about that.
Uh-huh. So yes, there is meaning behind that one.
That was your
my
dad.
Mom, yeah, my
That was
dad
your
used to say
dad.
that to my mom all the time, and now my mom says that all the time to
Yeah.
us, or to me. So So yes, that's why I used that saying. And I didn't mean to make her cry, but I did.
It's okay. Oh,
Okay, so let's attach the...
I think we told you that one day, didn't we?
I-
Before your dad died. It's every night.
No, you told me that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, that is why I picked it. Just for you.
Yep.
We're going to use our microdot adhesive. And yeah, if the words are simply the best don't fit going between the diamonds, then we're going to just take a scrap piece and stamp it on there and layer it. I actually have not tried it, so I'm going to try it on mine before you actually do yours. Okay, so don't do it because Sarah's going to be the tester. On the sample it's attached as just a layer, but it's bigger. So I'm going to see if we can stamp this right on that layer. Otherwise we will take just a piece of, one of your pieces of white, because you have a lot of it. And you might have an extra one from the other card. So let me test this first. And I might have to pick a clear block that is not clouded over. I shouldn't say clouded over, that is dirty. Did you see Laura's question?
No.
Oh, Laura Plummer, how many years were you married, Sue?
Oh, we were married for 58 years. We were together for 61 years. Thanks for asking, Laura. So grateful for those 61 years.
Okay. So I think I can fit it. Oh no, I don't think I can. I don't know if I'm gonna try because I can always cover it up.
So Tina Turner had a song called The Best. And you'll see the words in there, you're simply the best. I love that song.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like it so much. So I am going to just stamp it on the white piece of paper and attach it as a layer. So yes, I was your tester on this one. I think it might have been fine, but I was a little hesitant when I was doing it because I was trying to avoid the diamonds. So I think it's just easier doing it this way. So I stamped it on one of my white pieces of paper, and now I'm just going to trim it off.
Oh, Laura, how nice is that? Our trip to Africa is next week. 44 years married and 51 years together.
Oh, is that Laura Plummer?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Laura, we went to Africa, to Burundi, Africa, and Tanzania for 3 weeks in June of 2013 in celebration of our 50th wedding anniversary in December of 2012. And Bogey always said to me, I'll follow you anywhere, you just make the plans and we'll go. And when we got there and we're in the middle of nowhere at midnight, waiting outside a gate so that we can get into the compound, he said, oh my gosh, Sue, what kind of danger did I put you in? Oh, he was so fearful, but everything went very well, although we had Policia with us 24/7 because Burundi's always at war. So where are you going, Laura?
So I'm gonna stop, or at
Okay.
least I'm gonna explain a couple steps first. So this, you are simply the best. You're gonna stamp in white. You're gonna layer it on there, and then you can just do it across and trim it on both sides. And then this piece, you're gonna put tape on the back, and it just attaches to the back. So it's cut a little bit smaller, so you can attach that right to the back. So you can just put tape right around the outside, attach that to the back, and then tape on the whole thing and attach it to your card front. So now you can go, Mom.
Kenya. We were in Kenya also. Oh, you're going to love it. Oh my gosh. Are you going on a photo shoot safari?
All right, so I'm attaching my layer of Are Simply the Best, and it's more over to one side, kind of in the middle, maybe a little bit higher than the middle, and I'm going to trim this off. And then I'm going to turn it over and put tape just around the outside edges so I can attach my purple glitter. Don't get tape in the holes, because otherwise that tape will be showing on the front. And then you can just attach your glitter cardstock to the back, over the back, so you can see it through there. And then you're just going to attach this to the card front. And it fits edge to edge. If you don't like it edge to edge, you can always, you could have trimmed some off, but you'll trim off the stitching. So the stitching is kind of nice around the edge. Okay, so I think if it's edge to edge, I'm going to start on the outside edges. And then kind of just use my fingers to snug it up to the edge. There we go. Turn it over. And then I'm going to use, you can either use foam tape on the back of you, or you could just attach it, because you're going to pop up flowers. So maybe you just attach the U with adhesive. Totally up to you. Totally up to you how to do the U. And again, you're going to push that down, with a piece of scratch paper. And now we're going to put this one away, because again, you're just going to attach the flowers. So you're going to die cut and attach flowers onto there. So we're going to go ahead and get to our last card base to assemble.
Laura said they're going to be visiting an orphanage that she spent 2 weeks at 13 years ago, then 2 safari places, 3 days each.
Wow.
And then 5 days at the beach. My husband has never been.
Sounds like an amazing trip.
Yeah, what a trip of a lifetime.
So let's assemble the hugs first, and we'll stamp the For You, because that just attaches on, and then we can put our black ink pad away, and I just have to find my paper. There we go. So we're going to attach the hugs to the shadow, and then we will stamp the For You, and then we'll assemble the front of this card. And then I might cut out just a couple flowers to attach to one of the cards, and then I am going to depart you, because I'm going to go home and work on comment sold stuff, and you can sit and die cut out your flowers and just attach them on. I hope that's okay with all of you. Our Friday night class, though, is going to be 3 to 3.5 hours long. That's tomorrow. That's our cards, which we'll be making 10 cards. So you'll get me from 5:30 on tomorrow night until between 9 and 9:30. Okay, so hugs. So you don't need to do words if you want to do for you, hugs to you, or if you just want hugs, that's fine too. So we're going to stamp our one last word. I'm going to stamp it twice in case I didn't have it straight the first time. Okay, there we go. So then we can put our black ink pad away, and we can put our stamp set away. If I knew where the thing was for my stamp set, it's right here. All right, so now this one is probably going to be the trickiest one. So we're going to cut off, so up at this top area right here, this is an acetate card. So that is, so from the score, you are going to I can't read it because it's yeah, 3/4. So 3/4 of an inch. So from the score, and this is the black leather stock. This white piece is for the inside, so you can go ahead and attach that to the inside right away. I just love this black leather stock. It just feels so silky smooth. We're going to attach that to the inside of the card, and then we're going to trim from the score 3/4 over. So actually, since this is 4 1/4 and 3/4, it would be at 5 inches. So if either, so 5 inches, and that gives you the little bit on the front that we're going to attach our acetate to. We still do need a little strip of the black down here at the bottom. So now we're going to put adhesive on the back. And it might hang over slightly down here. So I am going to trim just a little bit off of here, probably like a 1/16 of an inch. You don't even need to do that if you don't want to. It's going to be a hair longer in the front than the back, but I think that's okay because you're not going to see it. So maybe I'm not even going to mess with trimming that off, because trimming that clear cover is a little bit, it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit harder to trim. But I do have one of my diamonds in there that I want to take out. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to line this up with the edge, the top and the bottom edge of the card, and then I'm just going to fold that card over. So you're basically making the front of your card is the clear cover. Now you can decide how you want to put your pieces on, and you have extra pieces. You might need to trim, like your there's only one thing of Miri Sparkle, you have 2 of them in there, but you might need to trim it a little thinner. See how mine is, we probably didn't even need to give you 2, you got an extra one. So you need to trim this piece in half. So depending on how close you put them together will depend on how much room you have at the bottom for your black. Or you can cut any of the strips narrower if you want. I'm going to trim my Miri Sparkle in half. If I can get my thing off my blade, my guard, because I can't get to it right now. Oh, I got it, yay. Okay, so I'm trimming my Miri Sparkle in half. And it doesn't have to be exact. You just want it straight. Okay, there we go. So you can just start attaching those pieces on. You're also going to trim the length, but you can do that after. And then you have a blue, a silver mirror card, and then whatever you need at the bottom, you're going to cut a hunk of this black off.
Do you ever just use happy for a birthday card, Sarah?
I usually don't. I think you could. I don't think there's any rules. Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think when you're making a handmade card, you just do whatever moves you.
That's the beauty of the handmade card, right?
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Righto, Joe.
Laura, we got to go to the headwaters of the Nile River, which those headwaters are in Burundi, way south of Bujumbura, which is the capital. And we spent, I'd like to say, a week doing photo shoots. An amazing thing. And then when we visited the orphanages in Burundi, we were not allowed to take any pictures. I don't know what experiences you've had with that. I know you were at an orphanage. It's just heartbreaking. Yet we found the happiest people in Burundi. Burundi is one of the smallest countries in the world and one of the poorest countries in the world, but the people were so happy. I guess they're probably just happy to be alive. They have so much death in Burundi. If it's not from gunfire, it's from illness.
So I'm not sure what yours is, but mine will be about 3. I really need a new ruler. Mine will be 1/16 under 3/4. So mine will be just shy of 3/4 of an inch that I'll need to cover up this bottom piece.
Yeah, the kids took hundreds of pictures. You're right. They loved the camera. They just followed me all over because they knew I would share my camera with them. They were just amazed. They were so amazed by the pictures. Because, they don't have a lot of glass windows for sure. And mirrors are something that's not common either in Africa. So something so simple, right? We'll have to compare pictures.
All right, so there's the front of our card.
Sarah, you know that paper trimmer we have in your office and then one in the back?
Uh-huh.
I lugged that all the way to Africa.
Oh my gosh, that sucker's heavy.
I know it. Oh.
Okay, so this piece you're going to cut to 4 1/4 or a hair longer. So mine goes, I can do it from the end of a scallop or close. I can do it close to the indents of the scallop, maybe just a little bit less, because it's going to go from the top of your card to the bottom of your card. So it'll be just about 4 3/4 of an inch, or 4 1/4. I'm sorry. And that we're going to just attach flat. And it's about a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the card. And you're going to just decorate that with flowers. Your hugs, you're going to pop up kind of right about there. And you're going to trim the for you or to you or whatever you want. These pieces are all extra. You've got an extra piece of Mary Sparkle. Extra piece of white. And I do think I want this narrower, so I'm just going to hand trim. All right. So now I'm going to put foam tape on the back of there, foam tape on the back of hugs, and we're at 8:14. I'll cut out flowers for 1, and then we are gonna depart. Gotta get my mom home to bed. She's been working a lot lately.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. It's been a long week, but it's been a fun week.
Yeah.
I love this week here.
Except for yesterday when she was feeling like she was run over by a truck.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, I got through that dance class and I didn't fall down.
That's good. Those are 2 wins.
Yeah.
You take whatever you can as a win.
You're right. I'm just enjoying the journey. I didn't always know how to do that.
Alrighty, well let's put the hugs down. We can all give my mom a virtual hug.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, all of you. You are simply the best.
Oops, I'm going to cut this even a little bit narrower. There you go. All right, so that's the front of that card minus the flowers, but just hang on, we're going to cut 3 flowers for one of the cards, or we're going to cut flowers for this card because that has the least amount of flowers on it. All right. We'll just go through the die cutting really quick. Cut ourselves a few flowers. Okay, so I'm going to cut some purple flowers. I'm going to cut a blue flower. I'm going to cut an orange flower. And if I do this right, I can die cut them all at the same time. except for maybe this one. Alright, so now for the dies, well, unless I can't find my dies, then we're in trouble. Okay. Missing in action dies. Hang on. Oh, they're right behind me on the die cutter.
It's usually my trick, Sarah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we just have to figure out which dies go to
Oh,
which.
Penny! I hope
Is
everything
Penny on?
went well with the doctor today.
Oh yeah, Penny had the doctor's appointment yesterday.
Yes.
So now you just have to figure out which die goes with which stamp. There, got it. And hold it in place with foam tape. Or foam tape, removable tape. Okay, so I can cut out my, and they pretty much fit in there really good. So I'm going to cut these two out, and then I'm going to cut the other two out. And then we'll layer those on, and then we're going to be off. And you guys can sit and die cut or do that on a different day. Because tomorrow night we're going to have a long night. There we go. Did Penny say how she was doing?
I'm sorry?
Did Penny say how she was doing?
No, she didn't, and my computer locked up, so I couldn't type anything. So
Oh.
I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, Laura asked her how
that
she was doing.
page locked up, but I'm trying to ask her a question. There, now I can get there.
Okay, so now I'm going to cut out my two purples. And then we'll get those mounted on. I like to keep my dies with a piece of removable tape on them because I'm going to use a piece of removable tape on them anyways. Alright, so I have my two purple dies, or my two purple flowers that I'm going to rotate a little bit, and a yellowish orange, and a blue. So I'm going to attach those up with foam tape.
The doctor said she's progressing and no longer needs someone with her 24/7.
Oh, that's awesome.
However, I'm on 2 heavy-duty antibiotics for the bottom of my incision. Seem to be oozing too much. They'd rather be safe than sorry later, for sure, Penny.
For sure, yes.
I'm taking so many pills now that I feel like I need an intervention.
Oh. Well, better safe than sorry.
Yes, for sure.
And I think this purple one I put up a little bit higher.
Even my computer's tired right now.
Yeah, your computer's moving slow. And then this one I just did kind of rotate on the top of it. And then I did use a little bit of crystal lacquer on mine. So I'm not going to do that at the moment, but if you have any gems, you could do that. So I'm going to let you all sit there and die cut and then assemble your flowers on your own. Got to get my mom home to bed. I've got to get home to working on Comments Sold. And we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. It was a long one. So thank you, and we will see you tomorrow night. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. You are simply the best.